This is a sad story. LeBron James' son, Bronny, has suffered a cardiac arrest, but leave it up to the psychopaths on Twitter or X to take this situation and, turn it into vaccine discourse.
Let me read a statement that was just provided to us by the family. It says, yesterday while practicing, Bronny James suffered a cardiac arrest. Medical staff was able to treat Bronny and take him to the hospital. He is now in stable condition and no longer in the ICU. We ask for respect and privacy for the James family, and we will update the media when there is more information. So cardiac arrest while at a practice yesterday. Importantly and crucially, before we have any more discussion, resting comfortably, no longer in the ICU.
Since this popped off, since this happened, a lot of people immediately chose to go, oh, how could this have happened? Well, it certainly happened because vaccine injury, as though cardiac arrests for young athletes is not a commonplace situation. For the record, this had happened at USC already, not that long ago. Vince Iwuchukwu underwent a similar problem, but that has not stopped people from, once again, going died suddenly mode. The details are pretty basic. While practicing, Bronny James suffered a cardiac arrest. Medical staff was able to treat Bronny and take him to the hospital. He's now in stable condition and no longer in the ICU. We ask for respect and privacy for the James family. We'll update the media when there's more information. 911 call was made at 9:26 a.m. Monday from USC's Galen Center, the venue where the team plays and practices. In the 18-year-old Hooper, who was unconscious, was taken by ambulance to the hospital. Cardiac arrest for young athletes or athletes in general is common. Why do people assume athletes are in perfect health? It's not even necessarily like silent medical issues, but 100 to 150 cardiac arrests during sports in the U.S. on average. Crazy, it's Bronny, but it's not out of the norm. Exactly. When you are pushing your body to the absolute fucking brink, to limits that are unimaginable by the average person, you are, of course, going to sometimes have issues, cardiovascular issues. Happened to Shaq's son, too. Sharif had to get major heart surgery. Fucking insane. So while this is a commonplace issue, this has not stopped people immediately blaming the vaccine. It has, of course, happened in the past before the COVID vaccine, and it will continue happening in the future as well. Terminally online motherfuckers, anytime something that's happening for years happens to a famous person, yeah, immediately they fucking push the vaccine button, which is crazy. I think there needs to be a little bit more bullying done on this regard. You know what I mean? Whenever you see some shit like this and you immediately rush to fucking propagandize it. Another part of the problem is myocarditis. Myocarditis and this kind of cardiac arrest numbers have actually increased. Except, you know what also has created a higher likelihood of this happening? Fucking COVID. You get COVID one fucking time and we don't even fully understand the complications that occur. And there have been papers done on this. The relative risk for myocarditis was more than 7 times higher in the infection group than in the vaccination group. As in, you're 7 times more likely to have myocarditis due to getting COVID than being fucking vaccinated. Ashkenazi Jew immune to COVID. Yeah. But if you ask RFK Jr., one of the more prominent anti-vaxxers in the field, running for the Democratic Party ticket, by the way, ultimately, it's probably, if you're Ashkenazi Jew or Chinese, you famously don't get COVID because it's a fucking bioweapon, allegedly. Why am I supposed to not listen to the motherfucking scientists and instead listen to some dumbass YouTuber who, like, in the beginning of the COVID pandemic was claiming that it was a 5G coronavirus chip or that COVID was fake and it was actually caused by 5G in areas where they hadn't even built a fucking 5G infrastructure yet? Why am I supposed to listen to a guy who has been wrong the entire fucking way? Why am I supposed to listen to you? Elon Musk being one of the main people. This fucking dumbass looked at a novel coronavirus and used his big brain processing power, mega savant brain, and said, COVID will be done by April. April of what year, you dumbass? Why am I supposed to ever trust you again on this kind of shit? He goes, we cannot ascribe everything to the vaccine, but by the same token, we can not ascribe nothing. Myocarditis is a known side effect. The only question is whether it's rare or common. Like, what the fuck are you saying? What are you saying, dude? What the fuck is that accent? I don't know. I can't do a good Elon Musk. It's like too weird. This has been happening for a very long time. It's is a thing that happens. The human body is very complex, and when you're pushing your body to like new cardiovascular limits, you're always going to have some of these issues. The Bronny James news has been out for 30 minutes, but here's some vaccine speculation from the owner of Twitter. It's just like, I don't know. It's just fucking so frustrating. It's so profoundly annoying. But here's a ally in the field. Mike Malak has been duking it out in the replies with other motherfuckers out here. Sudden cardiac arrest is the leading cause of death in young/student athletes. Here's a list of some of the athletes lost before COVID or the vaccine ever existed, which I think is wild. Oh, here, by the way, there was a context that was added with a reader note. Community notes actually came in clutch and said, studies show that the risk of myocarditis is significantly higher after an actual COVID infection than with the vaccine. Among adolescent boys, the risk of myocarditis following COVID infection was approximately twice that of the risk following the second vaccine dose. And guess what? That community notes is now gone. Okay? It's gone. It doesn't exist under the Elon post, as we saw. I wonder how that happened. Fox News anchor Martha McCallum on Bronny James. People see these situations, and it does raise questions about the vaccine because we saw some of what you talked about happen in some young individuals after that. Elon Musk tweeted about it. Is that a fair question to raise? I don't know if you're ever going to convince anyone that genuinely fell for these conspiracy theories. Like, I don't know how you can drill this into them, even though with how simply you're explaining it, it's like impossible to fight against this type of misinformation. Yeah, I do kind of see it as a bit of a lost cause. I'm not going to lie. I do consider this a bit of a lost cause. It's just like really hard to drill this, no matter how many times you fucking mention it. Also, here's a brief little quip from the state of Florida for all of you to understand that it's not a normal place at all. A 3-year-old driving a golf cart hit and killed a 7-year-old in Florida, police say. So if you're wondering what is the type of shit that occurs in the wonderful, beautiful state of Florida, you know, it's this kind of shit. Florida man in training? Yeah, I mean, that Florida boy turned into a Florida man. It's like a Florida bar mitzvah, dude. I bet especially if the 3-year-old was drunk, if he was drunk golf carting, dude, that is literally how a boy in Florida becomes a Florida man. It's a rite of passage. Anyway, let's get to some really funny shit. Earlier today, we found out that the U.S. national had crossed into North Korean territory and is believed to be in custody of the North Korean authorities. We later found out that he was actually a soldier that had crossed into North Korean territory, the People's Republic of Korea, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, the best Korea. So let's see what the details are now here. Let's get started right here.
CNN is learning more about the American soldier now detained in North Korea. A U.S. defense official says that the soldier was facing disciplinary action.
Hold on one second. I gotta put my fucking hat back on for this one. As a veteran of the Korean War, on the popular Korea side, I don't know. I mean, this man is just finding freedom. My immediate speculation, maybe I'm wrong, judging by like how the American military moves in that region, is that he was probably doing so much sex pest shit, like so much, like doing not the normal amount of rape that people do on these bases, but like way more than the normal amount that like even the military officials were like, we have to charge you, brother. You've raped too many people. So he was just like, all right, this is my last chance to get the fuck out of it. Because like there is an acceptable amount of sexual assault in the eyes of the U.S. military when they are overseas. They see it as like a quiet form of compensation. Basically, there's an acceptable amount of drunk driving you can get to do in these bases and in the surrounding regions. I mean, you can even do it on American bases on American soil. I was a defense paralegal in the U.S. Air Force. 99% of my clients were doing sex crimes. Yeah.
And I'll just read you a statement that we got from U.S. Forces Korea, which says that a U.S. service member on a JSA Joint Security Area orientation tour willfully and without authorization crossed the military demarcation line into the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. But what we are learning is that this soldier was apparently facing disciplinary action by the U.S. military, and he was actually set to be sent back to the United States before he actually went on this tour and ended up crossing that demarcation line again, apparently voluntarily and willfully. So Pentagon officials across the administration are trying to gather more information on why exactly he crossed that line. But obviously, this new information about the potential disciplinary action he was facing adds a new dimension to all of this, guys.
If he had crossed over accidentally, what are the chances of crossing over accidentally into North Korea there?
Accidentally? Okay. Accidentally? What was he in fucking Mongolia? No, he was in South Korea. There is no accidentally crossing over the line into North Korea from South Korea. What do you mean accidentally? Like, there are parts where you might not know where the fucking border is in other parts of the world that are bordering Korea. Not in fucking South Korea, though. What the hell? Oops, fell directly into DPRK, dude. It'd be pretty funny if he became the Yeonmi Park, but for North Korea. You know what I mean? Where he was just like, yeah, in America, they beat you up for saying that, like, America is not an imperial genocidal empire. They beat you up so hard. That's why I came to North Korea, where I found freedom. In America, they're eating mud. They're eating hamburger out of mud. In America, they make you pay to go to work, and then they don't pay you enough so you can eat food. Well, okay, the Yeonmi Park shit is like mostly lies. He could just be truthful about America and still make it look fucking desolate, because it is desolate. In America, they make children work. It used to be illegal, and now governors and leaders of prefectures have made it legal in different places for children to go to work. One of them died recently. A 16-year-old died in like a hay bale incident or something.
Yeah, well, the State Department would step in if this becomes a case of an American who is wrongfully detained by North Korea. And we can't make that assessment definitively right now, but based on the information
how would they be
that
rightfully
we have gathered,
detained?
the fact that the Pentagon is...
First of all, any kind of detainment from a foreign adversary is always going to be considered contentious and wrongful, okay? The very notion of detaining an American falls flat in the face of what the American empire is all about. The entire point of having an empire is that no one can arrest one of your fucking nationals. It don't work that way, man. It don't work that way. I would be highly suspicious if the American government doesn't make a big stink about this, doesn't make a big fuss about this. That means this soldier did some real fucked up shit. Okay? I mean, it could be that, or that he is like a genuine radicalized fucking Marxist-Leninist who read too much left book posts and literally thinks that in North Korea they're eating hamburger for every meal, and that's why he defected. You know what I mean? But that seems highly unlikely. U.S. soldier laughed as he ran across the DMZ in North Korea, witness says, and he was reportedly in trouble with the military. Have you seen this? Records reveal Biden's dog bit several secret agents in multiple incidents. I mean, I respect that. Dogs have fuck cops.
Commander, after reports reveal the German Shepherd attacked Secret Service officers on 10 separate occasions.
10? Bro, what the fuck are you doing? At that point, it's not even a lack of training. You trained the dog to eat Secret Service agents. It's not that, like, it's a good boy, by the way. Holy shit. It's too much training. You literally trained him to eat cops.
Kelly O'Donnell joins us from the White House. Kelly, it's great seeing you this morning. What more do we know about these incidents? What a beautiful dog.
He's a beautiful dog, and he's about 22 months old now, and these incidents go back to late 2022. And we have learned about this because the conservative group Judicial Watch filed legal papers to get, through Freedom of Information Act, some of the communications and emails and so forth of the Secret Service.
Tom Fitton, bro, my man, dude. God, I love him so much. Judicial Watch on top, baby. Let's go. Let's fucking go, dude. You want to know the man behind this incredible initiative that FOIA'd the fucking presidential dog? The sexiest man in the Republican side of the field. Tom Fitton has given us so many gifts, okay? The main reason why Donald Trump is currently under federal investigation for the mismanagement and unlawful retention of classified documents. That was completely directed by Tom Fitton of the Judicial Watch. That's a gift that he gave us, okay? So remember that. Donald Trump called up Tom Fitton, and Tom Fitton was like, oh, legally you can keep classified documents without declassifying them. Fuck the government. Tom Fitton has now also delivered us yet another gift. I love him.
They outline a number of instances where Commander Biden, then a puppy, still kind of a puppy, bit some of the personnel. At times, these were bites that resulted in a mark, a cut. One officer was taken to the hospital for treatment. The White House today is acknowledging that this is a complex environment for a family pet. When you think of all of the kind of circumstances that are here at the White House, they acknowledge training and leash protocols, and they're working with Secret Service and so forth to try to...
Bro, that makes no fucking sense. You're the president. You don't have a fucking dog watcher and a trainer? Like, what's happening? That makes literally no sense how untrained the fucking president's dog is. Like, that actually doesn't make any sense. Like, I mean, look, Kaya is a great example, okay? She's currently passed the fuck out. Let me see if I can show you without waking her up. Look at this dog. This dog, if left untrained, would also be a fucking menace. How do you not get a trainer, dude? What the fuck?
Secret Service don't handle the dogs. They don't care for them. That is done by, in addition to the family, other staff at the White House. But it's notable because the Biden's prior dog, Major Biden, was rehomed after biting incidents as well. President Biden has long loved German Shepherds, and that's the kind of dog we're talking about today.
That's wild. Yeah, this is the second dog. What the fuck's he doing? It literally does not make sense how these guys are just like, oh, well, fuck it. I mean, I feel like that's a very, not to get racial with it, but it feels like a very white woman trait to just be like, oh, sorry, my dog, I just didn't train it. Not that, like, actually, it's not even fair. It's not even fair to white ladies to say that, because there's plenty of fucking white ladies who love their pit bulls and train the fuck out of them. You know what I mean? I just don't really understand how you get away with not training your dog. Why won't his dog stop biting people? Oh, stop. Mitch motherfucking McConnell freeze at the top of the GOP briefing. Later,
well, good afternoon, everyone. We're on a path to finishing the NDA this week. It's been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
Okay, Mitch? Anything else you want to say, or should we just go back to your office? Do you want to say anything else to the press?
Go ahead, John.
I'll take it back.
My man's brain is doo-doo, man. Is fucking doo-doo. Did he shit himself? What happened there? Did he poop himself, or did his brain poop itself? I think his brain pooped itself. He might have stroked out right there, baby. I'm not gonna lie, but of course I had a take on it. Maybe it's the vaccine injury, you know? You never know with these things. Let's run that again.
and a string of
I love the zoom from C-SPAN. From my mom, who's an epilepsy nurse, this was a focal seizure with impaired awareness. He had that fall not too long ago and said to have a concussion. I'm sure he had a subdural or something. He may not even know it happened.
Are you good?
Okay, Mitch? Anything else you want to say, or should we just go back to your office?
Guys around him are so funny too. He's like, "Hey, Mitch, you got some more words to say, or should we just escort you inside? What's happening?"
Say anything else to the press?
Go ahead, John.
I'll take it back.
The least cognitively impaired Congress member, dude, first and foremost, okay, why are all of our fucking most powerful congresspersons literally 700,000 years old? Mitch McConnell has got one health bar, okay, barely. Nancy Pelosi, one health bar, barely. Dianne Feinstein doesn't even have a health bar anymore. Okay, she's on a potion that allows her to just like extend her lifespan. She's dead already. She's literally dead. She's not even 1 HP. Okay, she got 0. Pharmacists have come out and said a pharmacist says he has filled Alzheimer's medication for members of Congress. They're making the highest laws of the land. They might even remember what happened yesterday. This touches on a very weird category of like, is this illegal? And I think it absolutely is illegal, but this is from 2017, by the way, but it's still worthwhile. Like, it's like information that the public should know about. You know what I mean? This definitely violates HIPAA, but who cares? It's one of those things where it's like you're kind of a whistleblower. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's worthwhile to say you look older today. It's because I am older. I'm 32. Mitch McConnell from another angle. God, looks like shit. Definitely good to have some of the most powerful members on the planet. These are some of the most powerful human beings on the fucking planet. It's great to have them be basically brain dead, like vegetables. It's cool. Doesn't matter, because their job isn't like to actually do anything. Their job in many respects is to do nothing. Their job in many instances is to basically just keep business as usual going, keep corporate interests maintained. Doesn't matter. They're just like a monkey in a suit. They're corporate puppets anyway. They're not reading the law. laws. Nobody thinks that they're reading the legislation that they're passing. They're not writing them either. It's lobbyists that write it for them. Cushy ass gig, you know what I mean? He went back, for the record, he went back and he delivered a Q&A. Let the speculation start. I speculated maybe vaccine injury. This one was really good. I think this is probably the best speculation out there. Jabuki says, it was so hard squeezing the fit under that podium and making sure my throat didn't make any noises. Thank God I zipped them up before they pulled him away. Need to suck it harder. Difference between left and right. The left will show empathy to this. If it was right, they would pile on. Wait, what? I don't want to show empathy to this at all. The fuck do you mean? My man glitched out. That's fucking bullshit. We shouldn't show empathy to this. The real empathetic thing here, if you have an empathetic bone in your body, is to get him the fuck out of power. Okay? Put him in a goddamn retirement home or some shit. But let me tell you something. Especially after watching Peter's videos on Kentucky. Think about that. Mitch McConnell is the senator from Kentucky. Okay? Think about the conditions that those people live in. This motherfucker is almost single-handedly responsible for that, okay? I'm sorry, I got no empathy for this dude. He's a lizard. He's awful. He does not care about his own state. He's a gigantic fucking piece of shit. I don't care. I hope there is some level of karmic justice where he experiences a fraction of the pain that he has caused to millions of Americans.
It's okay.
Update, McConnell comes back to the presser. Maybe he just shat his pants, you know? But yeah, they're saying that he was lightheaded. They gave him a shot in the locker room. Should be good for the second half. He had a stroke. His face is all droopy right side. No, I think that's just how his face looks all the time. Anyway, flag on the play. Mitch McConnell, I mean, he came back, which is disappointing. But, you know. There's nothing in there, dude. There is nothing in there. In that moment, there is that 30-second pause. There's absolutely nobody home. Okay, crickets. It's just, you can see it in his eyes. He's dead. Wait, Activision is suing a TikToker? This is not a TikToker. This is my friend. It's fucking Anthony Fantano. Activision sues music critic over TikTok pizza clip. Activision says it's getting ahead of a legal threat by suing the creator of a popular TikTok video after the company used the audio from his clip in its own post. Activision is testing the theory that repurposing content on TikTok is fair game and not something it has to pay for. It's also accusing Anthony Fantano, the video's creator, of asking for an extortionate amount of money to avoid being sued for using the audio, which it says was permitted by TikTok's terms of service. The Activision suit was filed in California. It seeks a ruling confirming that the company did not infringe on Fantano's rights when it incorporated audio of Fantano talking about a thinly sliced pizza into a video about sneakers themed to its video game character Crash Bandicoot. Fantano's 19-second clip was uploaded in April 2021. Has been liked by more than 5 million times on TikTok and became a meme. The video was repeatedly reused and remixed over the last 2 years, which Fantano celebrated according to the suit. Activision's Crash Bandicoot clip was uploaded in June, but it's no longer online. According to the suit, Fantano contacted Activision in late June threatening to sue and has not been satisfied by Activision deleting the video. On July 11th, Fantano allegedly asked for a 6-figure payment. Defendant also apprised Activision that he reached settlements with other entities based on similar use, that these entities had paid a similar sum in order to avoid an expensive litigation, the suit states. But Activision says TikTok's terms of service indicate that users grant third parties the right to modify, adapt, reproduce, or make derivative works of their uploaded videos. Activision also says it pulled Fantano's audio from a listing of sounds that TikTok marked as cleared for commercial use. For those of you who don't know, this is... I hope Fantano doesn't actually sue us, but this is, of course, the famous Austinox meme of the HasanAbi Clips Industrial Complex. Here is that meme being utilized.
A fresh pie, save me a slice. That's good. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's... All right, that's good. Okay. All right, okay, all right. Okay, that's good. That's good. It's enough slices!
Wait, wouldn't Fantano ruin TikTok if he won? I don't know. I feel like you could absolutely do a specific carve out for commercial usage because this is very clearly a commercial usage of his audio. This dispute is a textbook example of how intellectual property law can be misused by individuals to leverage unfair cash payments from users of social media networks such as TikTok, Activision's lawyers say in the suit. I like that Activision is the harmed party. Who are they harmed by? Anthony fucking Fantano. Like, what is going on here? Like, are they countersuing because they're like, no one ever can come after us for using your audio ever again if you upload it on TikTok? Is that what it is? Like, how do they get to play the victim here? Ultimately, what do I think? I am not a fan of intellectual property, but I am a fan of, small content creators in this regard, making money off of corporations. So this brings me to an impasse. It's a unique predicament where, like, intellectual property, especially when it's being commercially appropriated by a giant corporation, should understandably lead to an adequate compensation for whoever the fuck is like making a big stink about it. You know what I mean? IP laws are only ever enforced in favor of corporations. That's why it sucks. Yeah, literally. Okay, but there wouldn't be a carve-out, dummy? No, for commercial utilization, you would absolutely put a carve-out there. What are you talking about? Potentially. I mean, it depends on how they frame this. It's been reused 54,000 times on TikTok. Argument is stupid despite being a giant corporation. I texted him. Let's see if he responds. Why are you defending IP Lamau just because he's your friend? Fuck off. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm defending him, because he's my friend. The other side, Fantano did not Fantano did not reply to a request or comment from Axios, but in an interview with Overcome last year about the clip's popularity, Fantano said, I have so many other irons in the fire going on that I don't really give a shit about what happens with the sound of me yelling at pizza. But he added, for somebody who literally has nothing on their name other than, hey, I have this popular song on TikTok or this popular sound, for them to not see any kind of benefit off that whatsoever, that's terrible. That's awful. Yeah, Fantano and Tano. Corporations need to license everything, and I mean everything for marketing materials, even fonts. Anthony probably knows this and is trying to simply license his original audio to them. Very typical in the marketing world, and Activision is being a typical cheapskate corpo fuck. Source, I work in marketing. I think Fantano has a decent chance to win. I don't think he uploaded the sound to TikTok. I don't think he uploaded the sound to TikTok's cleared commercial system. Other people have ripped the original video and uploaded it. I feel pretty bad for the 18-year-old social media intern who caused all this. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a story because Activision, it seems like, according to what Activision is saying, Fantano reached out and was like, hey, give me some money. You used my voice in an ad and I didn't clear it. And then they didn't like how much money he was asking for. So then they were like, fuck you, we're going to sue you. In my opinion, it's very similar to the Ron DeSantis meme videos. Killian Murphy didn't give his permission to use his likeness for the video. Yeah, I do think that it opens up a litigation floodgates for a lot of horny lawyers and also a lot of horny motherfuckers who just want to like turn around and sue anyone and everyone. So I do see the other side of this conversation where like anything and everything that is meant to protect people will oftentimes be, one, utilized by corporations to protect their interests, and two, will be utilized by random dumbasses who wanna litigate every little thing. You know what I mean? It feels strange, but I could totally see this backfiring on like the internet as long as it's not like very clearly defined. I could see that totally destroying fair use. Even I could totally see it destroying. I don't know. I could see it being weaponized by like any Tom, Dick, and Harry. So that's why I said we're at an impasse.